Welcome back to my Philadelphia Eagles franchise here on Madden 23 as we get ready to kick off Season 7 here in the preseason. We are coming off our 6th straight Super Bowl appearance. We have made the Super Bowl in every year of this franchise. We have won 3 and we have lost 3, but obviously in the last one we won by a lot, 73-20. In the last video we took on the entire offseason and I made a big trade through the middle of the video. I traded star wide receiver AJ Brown to the Pittsburgh Steelers, 1, reuniting him with Jalen Hurts, and 2, clearing up a bit of cap space for us because we did have to sign Glenn McCutcheon to a big contract, obviously eating up a ton of the cap, but we still have some pretty solid receivers. But for now, let's go over everyone that I signed off screen after the offseason. I may jump around the roster quite a bit here, but I want to start here at tight end, where I brought back tight end Grant Calcaterra, and I also brought in undrafted free agent Josh Beard to compete with the 3rd string job. Obviously, he will have an uphill battle with a 14 overall point difference, but I like some of his ratings and we'll see how he plays. At another point in the offseason, I moved right tackle Kyle Robinson over to right guard because we did lose our right guard in Evan Steffa in free agency, which really sucks. So I needed a backup right tackle, so I signed Darian Kennard. Our defensive back room is very full right now, but I did bring in one other player, and that is defensive back Isaiah Rodgers. At defensive end, I wanted to bring in one more player, so I signed Jaden Traylor. He's a 5th-year player, auto-generated obviously as a 77 overall. I think he could be a solid backup if Courtney Bolden doesn't work out. Defensive tackle, we are pretty well set. We have a lot of really good players. Don't believe all of these ratings, by the way. They are under a massive amount of boost right now. Like, let's check out Thomas Daniels, who right now is a 90 overall. He is generally a base 86 overall. So a lot of these guys are getting a pretty big boost. Sean Brown right now is an 86 overall. He is a base 77. He is getting a +9 overall boost right now. But I did bring in defensive tackle Quentin Bohanna just to be a backup here. Our running back room is pretty well set with Breece Hall and Dalvin Charles. Keith Dalton will get a little bit of playing time too. I still have Kennedy Brooks as well, but I did sign undrafted free agent CJ Lennon. We'll give him a little bit of playing time to see what he can do. That's really just brought in because I don't want to use Hall or Charles a lot in the preseason. Wide receiver will be a pretty big question this year. Can we move on without AJ Brown? We still have a very highly rated Devontae Smith, a 2nd-year Jonathan Stern. He burst onto the scene last year. We also signed Doug Sutton in free agency with his 99 speed and acceleration. We still have Tremaine Powell, who I burned a 1st-round pick on just in the previous draft before this one. We still have Juan Jeffries, who's been on the team the entire series since he's been an undrafted free agent. I don't think he was on the team, obviously, for Season 1. But then I did end up signing 3 undrafted receivers here. And we will start with Jaleel Thurman, who's a 68 overall. I also brought in DeMarcus Johnson, who is a 68 overall, and Randy Williams, who is a 67 overall. 3 undrafted free agents looking to make the team, but they have a very tough battle. At quarterback, we are pretty well set with franchise quarterback Glenn McCutcheon. He's under a massive contract. Obviously has led us to 3 Super Bowls in his 5-year career. Dom Barnett is our backup right now. He does have a player tag of Trey Target Young, so I looked around the league and I found a team that could use him. We will handle that in a second. I drafted Derek Lambert at the end of the 3rd round. He does come in with a hidden dev trait. I also drafted Josh Gaffney, I believe, in the 7th round. Let me double check that. Yes, he was actually Mr. Irrelevant, so he's going to be fighting to make the team. And then I brought in undrafted free agent quarterback Clyde Pierman. All 3 of these guys will be fighting to make the team, and most likely Lambert's guaranteed to make the team. I spent a 3rd round pick on him. I don't really know why I spent a 3rd round pick on a quarterback when I have Glenn McCutcheon, but I wanted a backup quarterback, and he was the best one available. Gaffney and Pierman will be fighting for the 3rd string job most likely. When I was looking around the league for a trade partner, I found the Carolina Panthers. They have a pretty stacked team here at the top. A 98 overall Christian McCaffrey, a 96 overall Brian Burns, a 91 overall DJ Moore. Obviously, these 2 players not traded in this universe. A 91 overall left tackle, and 89 overall in Derek Brown. But at quarterback, their best one is a 2nd-year Eric Bolton, who's only a 66 overall. Their backup is Kenny Pickett, who's also a 66 overall. And then they have Sam Howell, who's only a 65 overall. So if we traded Dom Barnett here, he would be the starter. Dom Barnett was a 2nd-round pick back in 2023 by the Dallas Cowboys. He spent a couple years there, then got cut, and has spent the last 3 seasons on our roster. But he is now a 69 overall, so we're going to see if we can trade him over to the Panthers. Now, a 2nd-round pick may be a little high for this, but he is going to be their starting quarterback as of right now. I thought about going for a first round pick. I mean, a few years ago, Howie Roseman did manage to get a first round pick for Sam Bradford. At the time, the Vikings really needed a quarterback, but that's Howie Roseman. I am not Howie Roseman. We're going to offer this trade and see if they take a second round pick, and they will. So we get Carolina's second round pick in the next draft, and they get a new starting quarterback. I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but Derek Lambert does have a hidden depth trait, and we have a ton of coach points, as you can see at the top of the screen here. So we're going to burn some to figure out Lambert's hidden depth trait, because he's not going to get enough playing time to actually unveil it this season. As you can see, here's the head coach talent tree, and I think we need to be on this side. We've seen enough. Reveal a hidden depth trait for one player per season. We're going to go ahead and use it on quarterback Derek Lambert. I really wish it showed you here, but it doesn't. And not much of a shock, but Derek Lambert does come in as a star depth trait, so he should progress pretty well behind Glenn McCutcheon. My game plan going into the preseason is we will not see any of the starters. We're going to use this time to see what the lower guys on the depth chart have. So we won't see Glenn McCutcheon, Breece Hall, or Devontae Smith. Most likely won't see a lot of Jonathan Stern either. Most of the defensive starters have also been pulled, especially along the defensive line. But let's see how Jalen Hurts and the Steelers offense operates on the first drive. The handoff to Najee Harris, who will start this game with a 5-yard run. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 5. Jalen will go back in shotgun. And I see A.J. Brown lined up in the slot. He'll take the snap and look to pass. He's under pressure. He's going to try to take off, and Hurts with the first down will get close to the 40-yard line. I did keep a few of the defensive starters in, like the linebackers, just so we don't get completely gashed. 1st and 10 from the 40. Jalen under center will give it to Najee Harris up the middle, and that'll be a gain of about 4 yards to bring up a 2nd and 6. Now Jalen will go back in shotgun from the 44-yard line. Najee Harris is the running back here. He'll take the snap, and they give it back to Harris, who goes to the outside with some great blocking and the first down into Philadelphia territory. A 3-yard run on the next play would bring up a 2nd and 7. Now Jalen back in shotgun will look to pass, and he's under pressure and getting sacked on the play. Jordan Davis forces a fumble, but Pittsburgh will recover. I don't know why Jordan Davis was even in the game. I have taken him out of the depth chart, but he's apparently going to stay in here. 3rd and 21 from the 47-yard line. Jalen out of shotgun will take the snap, and he's under pressure again, but going deep downfield, and that's incomplete, but I think that's going to be roughing the passer on Jordan Davis. And I think that's exactly what it is. Are you kidding me? Jalen back in shotgun. Najee Harris is the running back. He'll take the snap and look to pass, and he's under pressure, but dumps it off over the middle. That's caught by Najee Harris for the first down. 1st and 10 from the 24. Jalen Hurts lines up under center. He will drop back and run a play action. And now he throws downfield, and that is caught, and that'll be incomplete. Knocked out of his receiver's hands. That was not A.J. Brown. We have not seen him throw the ball his way yet. 2nd and 10 from the 24. Jalen out of a 5-wide set will take the snap. He's under pressure, and this time he's getting sacked by Josh Sweat. I don't know how these guys are finding their way into the lineup. I've buried these guys on the depth chart. I don't know how they're finding the field, but now 3rd and 20 from the 34. Jalen will take the snap, and he's under pressure, but going deep over the middle. That is caught by Pat Fryermuth, I believe, down to the 18. 4th down. So they will settle for a field goal try of about 35 yards here, and I will tell you guys right now, we're probably not going to see a lot of the defense, but they're going to fake this. He gets to the outside. He does not get anywhere close to the marker. Turnover on downs. But now rookie quarterback Derek Lambert will get to take the field, and we get to see him for the first time. I have also put out the entirety of the backup offensive line, so I apologize if he dies, but we'll start with a handoff to Kennedy Brooks, who will end up with a gain of about 3. And there goes our backup right guard, I believe. Maybe we will get to see some of the starters. 2nd and 7 from the 20 now. He's back in shotgun. Lambert will take the snap and look to pass. He throws over the middle. That is caught for the first down by Juan Jeffries. I said we won't see a lot of the defense. You guys will end up watching a lot more of the offense in this video. 1st and 10, handoff to Kennedy Brooks up the middle, and that'll be a gain of about 3 again. That brings up a 2nd and 7. Lambert goes back in shotgun. I believe Kennedy Brooks is still the running back here. From the 31-yard line, he takes a snap. It's a play fake to Brooks. He's dropping back to pass, and now he's throwing on the run downfield and overthrows his man. TJ Watt is now injured for the Steelers, though, so at least he won't be able to kill Lambert for a minute. 3rd and 7 from the 31. Can we keep the drive alive? He'll drop back from under center. It's a draw play up the middle, and he is going nowhere. That was second-year player Keith Dalton. I accidentally simulated past it, but Najee Harris just ran a 96-yard touchdown to take a 7-0 lead. We'll see if Lambert can answer that play. 1st and 10 from the 25. Now down by 7. Lambert out in shotgun. Brooks is the running back. He'll take the snap and looks to pass. And he steps up in the pocket under pressure and getting sacked on the play. And apparently TJ Watt is not that injured. 2nd and 18. Lambert lines up under center from the 17-yard line. And it'll be a handoff up the middle, and he is going nowhere. That sets up a 3rd and 18. Maybe putting in the backup offensive line to handle TJ Watt was not a great idea. 3rd and 18 was look to pass. He goes over the middle, and that is inaccurate. All right, he is definitely not taking McCutcheon's job right now. The defense would force a 3 and out, but now we face a 3rd and 5 and a possible 3 and out of our own. Lambert out of shotgun will drop back to pass. He throws downfield, and he finds Juan Jeffries for the first down, and he fights his way all the way down to the 46-yard line. So a new set of downs. About a minute to go here in the quarter. It's a handoff up the middle, and he is going absolutely nowhere. Fumbles the ball, but luckily Lambert was able to get back on top of it. But that does set up a 2nd and 16 for the Eagles offense. Lambert back in shotgun from the 40-yard line. Runs the play action. Drops farther back to pass and throws it away at the last second, but there is a flag. What is that going to be? Is it roughing the passer? He did hit him. Holding on the offense. Okay. So that sets up a 2nd and 26 for the Eagles now from their own 30-yard line. Lambert out of shotgun will just run the draw play to Kennedy Brooks, and that's going nowhere. 3rd and 29, and what will most likely be the last play of the first quarter. He takes the snap and looks to pass. He's going to load up and go deep downfield into traffic, tipped around and incomplete, but there is a flag. What is this one going to be on?
Personal foul.
A roughing the passer against Pittsburgh. Automatic first down. I lied. This one should be the last play of the first quarter. 1st and 10, 2 seconds left. Lambert will drop back to pass. Staying in the pocket, now he throws to the outside. That is caught along the sideline, I believe, by Doug Sutton. But now Jason Foote, our backup tackle, is injured. Now we get to start the second quarter, though. It's 2nd and 2, and apparently some of the backups have made their way back in, like Dalvin Charles. And now he'll drop back to pass. Roll out to the outside. He's going to break away from one sack, but get brought down back at the 38. That does bring up a 3rd and 14 now. Lambert back in shotgun from the 38-yard line. He'll take the snap and looks to convert. Standing back in the pocket, dropping farther back under pressure, goes deep down the right side, and that is caught by Grant Calcaterra, but nowhere near in bounds, and we will punt it away. We're going to jump a little bit later into the game. It is 3rd and 6 with about 5 minutes to go in the half. Lambert in shotgun. Has managed to drive down to the Steelers' 35. He'll look to keep the drive alive. He dumps it underneath. That's caught by Brooks, who breaks one tackle but is brought down ultimately for a loss of 2. So we will send out Jake Elliott for about a 54-yard try here to try to at least get us on the board today. The kick is away, and it is good. Never mind, that's no good. He missed it. Now we're going to jump to about 30 seconds left in the half. Lambert out of shotgun will go downfield, and he finds his man at the 24-yard line for the first down. And we'll burn our final timeout with 10 seconds to go. With 10 seconds to go in the half, we will send Jake Elliott out, and he will make this good 7-3. We start the second half with the ball, and Josh Gaffney, Mr. Irrelevant, will take over at quarterback. He'll start with a play action and then quickly throw it to the outside. That's caught, and he'll break one tackle. Never mind, he never got away, but it is a gain of 5. That brings up a 2nd and 5. Gaffney will go under center here from the 30-yard line. There's going to be a handoff to, I believe, Keith Dalton up the middle for a huge gain, breaking tackles, fighting his way all the way down to the 49-yard line. That was not even Keith Dalton. That was undrafted running back C.J. Lennon. Now 1st and 10. Gaffney going back under center. He'll drop back to pass. Dropping farther back. Now he's under pressure. Throws on the run, and that's incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 49. He's back in shotgun. Gaffney runs the play action under quick pressure and immediately brought down. There was practically no blocking there off the blitz. It does set up a 3rd and 15, though. He's back in shotgun from the 46-yard line. He'll take the snap and looks to pass. He's rolling out under a lot of pressure, throws on the run, finds Kennedy Brooks, who will fight his way back to about the 50, but it will not matter. We'll punt it away. Jumping later into the third quarter now, it is 3rd and 2 from the 49-yard line. Gaffney out of shotgun will take the snap and looks to pass, trying to keep the drive moving, throws it to the outside, but that will not be a first down. Now jumping to the fourth quarter, down 17-3, we will watch one drive with rookie quarterback Clyde Pierman, and he's going to get sacked on his first career snap for a loss of 7. Now he's going to line up in shotgun here, with Kennedy Brooks in at running back from the 18-yard line. He'll take the snap and look to pass. It's a screen to the outside. It's caught by Brooks. He gets a couple nice blocks, and Brooks at least gets some of those yards back to make it 3rd and 9. Now back in shotgun. Can Pierman convert on this 3rd down? With Brooks as his running back, he'll look to pass. Standing in the pocket. Now going deep downfield. That one will be tipped in the air and intercepted. That was nowhere near a receiver. I think he was going for Juan Jeffries, but he was way off on the play. The only one really able to catch that was a Steelers defender. About 30 seconds to go in the game, we may finally find the end zone. Pyramid to the end zone and a touchdown to Grant Calcaterra. So we at least aren't held out of the end zone the entire day, but we are going to lose this game 20-10. The backup offense did not look good this entire time, including third-round pick Derek Lambert. Now, he was going against starters. He's only a 64 overall. You can't expect too much out of him yet. I'm hoping he can develop into a solid backup quarterback, but as of right now, if McCutcheon goes down, we are not looking too good. Looking at the stats here, Derek Lambert doesn't seem to have actually done that bad. He goes 11 for 16, 115 yards. Clyde Pierman 9 for 14, 87 yards, did throw the lone touchdown, but also threw the lone interception. And Josh Gaffney went 6 for 7, not a bad completion percentage, just never really threw the ball downfield from what we saw. Running the ball, CJ Lennon did pretty well, 11 carries for 55 yards, and receiving Grant Calcaterra 9 for 92 and a touchdown. I'm sorry to Josh Beard, the undrafted tight end, but I think Calcaterra may just, have kept his job off the first game. What about defense? Who led the team in tackles? Kadeem Kitchens. That's what I want to see. I took him in the first round. I actually had him play this entire game as the starter because he still needs 500 plays to unveil his hidden depth trait. And obviously I want to see exactly what he can do. Theo Norwood also had a good day with 7 tackles. In sacks, we got a few actually. Kerry D. Carvalho, who was a rookie that we drafted in, let me see, I believe the second round. He was actually really low rated, so I'm glad to see he got a sack. Sean Brown also got one, Courtney Bolden got one, and Josh Sweat got one, along with Jordan Davis. We got no interceptions though today. Let's see how the Steelers quarterbacks played. Lance Aldridge, a rookie quarterback, goes 11 for 21, 136 and a touchdown. Jalen Hurts 3 for 6 and 35 yards. Khalil Pettis, their backup running back, 12 for 28, but Najee Harris 4 for 119, averaging 29 yards a carry. Insane. Their backup receiver, I about called him a tight end, Nick Vincent 3 for 48. Benji Carmichael caught a touchdown. Did we hold AJ Brown to no catches? We did, but I believe we will see them in the regular season. I wanted to double check that I wasn't wrong, but yes, we will travel to the Pittsburgh Steelers in week 10 of this season, where we will get to see Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown at least one more time. The remaining 2 preseason games, I'm probably just going to super sim the entire thing while going in and changing the depth chart as needed. But if it's a close game near the end, we'll watch. But aside from that, you guys will probably just see stats for these last 2 games. I know I just said we're not going to watch much of this game unless it's close near the end, but on Lambert's first drive, he's managed to get inside the 20, so we'll see if he can do anything. Handoff to Kennedy Brooks up the middle, and he'll get close to the marker. That sets up a 3rd and 1. So Lambert now comes out in a 5-wide set from the 6-yard line. He'll take the snap and looks to pass, standing in the pocket. He has a bit of time. He's rolling out to the outside, looking for someone to come open, but he's going to take the sack back at the 15-yard line. We now jump to the end of the game where it is 24-20 with 1:34 to go. I have left Josh Gaffney in this entire second half. He's been playing pretty well, and he'll start this drive with a quick pass over the middle to Tremaine Powell for a gain of about 7. That'll bring up a 2nd and 3. We only have 1 timeout remaining. Gaffney out of shotgun will look to pass. He throws downfield, and he's got a man that's caught along the sideline. That's Tremaine Powell again. Had he not stepped out, he might have been gone. 1st and 10 with 1:14 to go in the game now. From the Colts 41-yard line, Gaffney out of shotgun will look to pass. He's going to roll up in the pocket, and he's going to take off on the play for the 1st down and get brought down inside the 30. 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line, under a minute to go in the game. He takes the snap, throws over the middle to nobody. 2nd and 10, Gaffney back in shotgun with 49 seconds to go. With Kennedy Brooks as his running back, he'll look to pass though. Dropping back, and he'll throw it to the outside. That's caught by Brooks, who will get shoved out of bounds at the 21. That will set up a 3rd and 5. Gaffney back in shotgun. Brooks is the running back. 44 seconds to go in the game. He takes the snap, trying to run around the pocket. Now he's going to throw it to the back corner of the end zone, but just throws it out of the back. That brings up a 4th and 5. Game on the line here. 39 seconds to go. Gaffney in shotgun. He'll take the snap and looks to pass. Standing in the pocket now, he'll throw over the middle for the 1st down. I believe that's Juan Jeffries. We elect to not burn the timeout. 20 seconds to go, and we burn it there. Why burn off extra time? But whatever. Thanks, EA Logic. Now 20 seconds to go in the game. It's 1st and 10 from the 15. Gaffney out of shotgun. will stand in the pocket, now rolling out and throw to the end zone. That one will be tipped out of the air and almost intercepted. That was intended for undrafted receiver DeMarcus Johnson. Now 2nd and 10 from the 15. 13 seconds to go in the game. Gaffney takes the snap. He's under pressure. You could not get sacked there. That's going to end the game 24-20. I said Gaffney played really well. We saw he made some nice throws on that drive. He threw a couple touchdowns in the second half, but ultimately we do end up losing. I don't give Pierman any playing time in this game, so he'll get a little bit more in the next game against, I believe it's the Houston Texans in the 3rd preseason game. Derek Lambert this time goes 10 for 19 for 90 yards. Josh Gaffney 18 for 29, 202 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. On the ground, Kennedy Brooks ran for 58 yards. Receiving, Tremaine Powell 10 for 116. Jaleel Thurman, one of the undrafted rookies, 5 for 88 and a touchdown. And Grant Calcaterra got a touchdown. Over on defense, Nakobe Dean led the team in tackles. In sacks, Dean got half of one and Thomas Daniels got the other half apparently. And George Burns, the backup middle linebacker, ended up with an interception in the middle of the game. Now let's see how the Colts quarterbacks did. Cody Sweeney, who we just beat in the Super Bowl 73-20, goes 4 for 8 for 48 yards. And their backup quarterback goes 7 for 10 for 66, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. DeAndre Berry ran for 69 yards and a score. Jonathan Taylor got a touchdown. Receiving, no one seems to have absolutely gashed us. Brevin Jordan was the only one to catch a touchdown here. Following that game, running back CJ Lennon was actually injured and has a foot fracture for the next 3 weeks. I won't be able to cut him if he's injured, I believe. So why not just go ahead and go in here now and place him on IR. He'll be on the team the whole season, but not taking up a roster spot. We now get to jump into the final game of the preseason at 0-2. Let's see if we can finally get a win here. The final score of this game was pretty close. It was 34-26. We don't pick up a win here in the preseason, but this game was never really close there in the final quarter. We got a garbage time touchdown to make it look a lot better. Tremaine Powell played out of his mind today. I think he ended up with 3 touchdowns. I gave all 3 backup quarterbacks a decent amount of playing time today. Derek Lambert got to play the entire first quarter against all of the Texans starters. He goes 3 for 7 for 20 yards. Not a great day, not a great preseason for him. Josh Gaffney goes 8 of 11 for 93 yards, 1 touchdown and a pick. He played the entire second quarter and was against the Texans starters the entire time and looked a lot better than Lambert. And then Clyde Pierman played the 3rd and 4th quarter, goes 12 for 17, 165 and 2 touchdowns. Now in the 3rd quarter, he would have played against the starters. The 4th quarter, he played against the backups, which is where he threw both touchdowns. Running the ball, Kennedy Brooks ran for 37 yards. Receiving, Tremaine Powell 7 for 92 and 3 touchdowns. Just an absolute insane day for him. On defense, leading the team in tackles is going to be defensive tackle Sean Brown. In sacks, Josh Sweat made his way into the game and got a sack, and Sean Brown got one as well. We got no interceptions today, though. Let's see how the Texans quarterback did. Caleb Snyder, their starter, goes 18 for 25, 204 yards and 3 touchdowns. Desmond Ridder goes 7 for 9 for 50 yards. Running the ball, Devin Singletary, 20 for 93. Isaiah Spiller found the end zone, and then receiving, Josh Owens, one of their backup receivers, 6 for 89 and a touchdown. Dawson Knox got a touchdown, and Devin Singletary caught a touchdown. Now that all the preseason games are out of the way, we have to make 18 roster moves to get our roster down to 53 players. The first roster move I am considering, though, is trading outside linebacker Mark Collins. He's a 75 overall in his 4th year. He is a backup to John Herrera. I think Philip Moreland would be a pretty solid backup as well, so we're going to look to move Mark Collins. Looking at the Dolphins roster, he would be an immediate starter here. Kaylavon Chason, I don't know if I'm saying that name right, is a 74 overall. So let's go over here and see if we can get a decent draft pick. They are projected to be pretty bad. They are projected to have the #1 pick in the draft. I don't think that would be a realistic trade. Let's see if we can get a 3rd round pick here for Mark Collins. And we'll offer that to Miami, and they have accepted it. The next player I am looking at trading is free safety Theo Norwood. He's a 78 overall in his 3rd year here. He is a backup to James Conley, who is a superstar depth trait. We just drafted AJ Jackson, who also has a day 1 starter player tag along with Theo Norwood. So we're going to look to move Theo Norwood, and AJ Jackson will be the new backup. Looking at Cleveland here, the Browns have a 77 overall free safety, so Theo Norwood would be a little bit higher than him. So let's see what kind of draft pick we can get for Theo Norwood here from Cleveland. And we'll go ahead and do another 3rd round pick. I don't think a 2nd round pick would work for a free safety that was going to be a backup anyway. So we'll offer a 3rd round pick to the Browns, and we have also picked up an extra 3rd round pick now. I don't know how much we can get for Dalton Aiken. It will not be a lot. He's only a 70 overall. He does not really fit our scheme. His man coverage is pretty bad, actually. If you go over here and look, he has 90 speed, but 63 man coverage. He's in his 3rd year. Let's see if we can at least get like a 6th round pick or something for him. And I'll scroll through the whole league for you here. The Bears have no interest. Only one team was green. It was the Cleveland Browns here. Everyone else has absolutely no interest. So we're going to go back to the Browns here and see if we can't get like a 6th round pick for Dalton Aiken. I think we're pretty safe of getting that. So we'll offer Dalton Aiken for a 6th round pick, and we also have the Browns 6th rounder now. I think that is going to be it for all of the trades though, so now we can go in and move some players to the practice squad or just outright cut them. I think as a 57 overall quarterback, yes, Clyde Pierman played really well in what time he was given, but I think as a 57 overall, he would be safe to go down to our practice squad, so that's going to be the first move I make. I may be coming back over here to wide receiver at one point, but we're going to move Randy Williams over to the practice squad along with Brandon Grubbs. I believe this guy was a 6th round pick. He does not get a lot of playing, or he's not going to get a lot of playing time here. So we're going to go ahead and move him over to the practice squad as well, even though he may get poached, along with DeMarcus Johnston. He is also headed over to the practice squad. We are also going to be moving tight end Josh Beard over to the practice squad, so Grant Calcaterra will be our 3rd string tight end. Not really much of a shock. Defensive end LaMarcus Carson was a 7th round pick. We picked him with a 20th pick in the 7th round. We're going to move him over to the practice squad as well. I'm going to be cutting defensive tackle Nathan Bates. I don't really think he has a spot here on the team. I'm also going to be cutting defensive tackle Quentin Bohanna. I think we are fine with our depth at defensive tackle. This guy has been on our team for quite a while, but we're going to go ahead and cut outside linebacker Paul Thompson. He just has not going to develop anywhere. I can't move him to the practice squad anymore. 62 overall, he is off the team. The next player getting moved is going to be free safety Kendall McCoon. He is headed to the practice squad as well. Another player headed down to the practice squad will be safety Sean Brown. He's only a 63 overall, so he needs a little bit more time to develop if he's going to develop at all, but for now he'll head to the practice squad. Coming back around to outside linebacker, we're also going to be releasing Mario Raymond from the team, only a 64 overall. Don't really see a spot on the team for him. We are also going to be moving defensive back Joe Penner over to the practice squad, so we will just be having 5 DBs or 5 corners on the roster, which is a bit concerning if anyone gets injured, but for right now I'm comfortable with how they are. Another player getting moved to the practice squad will be safety Joe Fields. We have Marquise Terrell and Kadeem Kitchens, so we're going to move Fields over to the practice squad. He might get taken though, because he is a 69 overall, which is a pretty high rated player to be putting on the practice squad, but we're going to go ahead and risk it. The final move I'm going to make is moving quarterback Josh Gaffney over to the practice squad. If I put Derek Lambert there, he will 100% be taken from us because of the star depth trade, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to go ahead and move Gaffney over there as well. Like I said, Lambert did not play well, but Glenn McCutcheon, if he goes down anyway, our season's probably shot. So we're going to go ahead and move Gaffney over to the practice squad. Not much of a shock, but as I jump to week 1, the Bills have taken Joe Fields from our practice squad. He was a 69 overall. I knew it was a risk, but I'm not too devastated by that loss. I was probably going to have to cut him anyway just to make room for everyone else on the team. It is now time to go over the final 53-man depth chart. Obviously, at quarterback, we will keep Glenn McCutcheon. At running back, we have Breece Hall backed up by Dalvin Charles. At wide receiver, we have Devontae Smith, Jonathan Stern, Doug Sutton, and Tremaine Powell as our top 4, followed by Juan Jeffries and then Jaleel Thurman. At tight end, it'll be Dallas Goedert backed up by Teddy Austin, and then Grant Calcaterra as the 3rd string. At left tackle, we will obviously still have Jordan Mailata, who is a 94 overall. At left guard is Landon Dickerson. At center will be Gabe Barnett. At right guard will be Kyle Robinson. And at right tackle will be Mekhi Becton. On the defensive side, 93 overall Josh Sweat will get to be the starter. At left end, at right end will be Spencer Hilton. At defensive tackle, we have Jordan Davis and Thomas Daniels. Left outside linebacker will be John Herrera. Middle linebacker will be Nakobe Dean. Right outside linebacker will be Kevin Payton. And then at corner, we have Earl Hayden now as the number 1 corner. Sean Murphy-Bunting has been the number 1 corner for the last few years, but Hayden has finally passed him. Sean Murphy-Bunting will obviously play the other side of the field. In the slot will be Telvin McDonald, and then Isaiah Rodgers will back him up, and then rookie Justin Anthony. At free safety, we will be using James Conley, and at strong safety will be Kadeem Kitchens, the rookie 1st round pick. Obviously, our starting kicker will be Jake Elliott, and our punter will be Scott Eaton. Our kick and punt returner will both be Tremaine Powell, and then down here at third down back, that'll be Dalvin Charles, and our power back will be Keith Dalton. Breece Hall may take that over at some point in the season, but as of right now, Keith Dalton does have higher trucking, which is the main thing I look for in a power back. Our slot wide receiver will right now be Doug Sutton. That may change throughout the season. Tremaine Powell will back him up, and Jonathan Stern will be the third string in that spot. Rushing left end will be Josh Sweat. Rushing right end will be Spencer Hilton. Rushing defensive tackle will be Jordan Davis. Our sub linebacker will be Nakobe Dean. Our slot corner will be Telvin McDonald. And that is it for the final 53-man depth chart. I've said this now multiple times, this series is probably going to start to slow down, but I will be simulating a lot more games per episode. So in the next one, we will probably watch week 1 against the Cowboys just because I like watching week 1 and it's against the Dallas Cowboys. And then we'll probably simulate 2, maybe 3 games after that. We're going to start getting through these seasons a lot faster because this is no longer a franchise rebuild. We've been to 6 straight Super Bowls, we've won 3 of them. It's been an absolute domination. So we're just going to start to simulate and see how long it takes this team to fall apart, or if it even does fall apart. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you next time.